Oh, cool. Okay, I'm recording now. Gonna be talking with Sharlene and Jason from Young Plant Weddings. So, how's everyone doing? I have a new setup today, I guess. I'm in the other room. If you could hear the echo, don't bear with me. But here we go. Let's admit them. Can you guys hear me okay? Should be recording. Hi. Can you hear me okay? For some reason, I can't hear you guys. There's no mic.
Okay.
Oh,
We couldn't hear you at first.
I can hear you guys now.
How's it going, Andre?
Good. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my video all right?
Yeah, everything's good. How are we on our end?
Oh yeah, you guys are look great with your video wise, but I'm so excited to be able to speak with you guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, great. We're really excited too.
I'm so excited, and thank you for taking the time. But I feel like I had a goal this year to talk with 60 people, and I'm still not quite there, but it's getting there. So I'm really excited to talk with other creatives that are doing the same thing as me. But the reason I started this podcast is pretty much to learn from other creatives, and I get to hear your story as well, and I learn from you guys, and I can hear that, and also in hopes that can inspire other creatives, since I post this on YouTube. But I'm really excited. Sharlene and Jason, right?
Yes.
You got it.
Awesome. And you guys are from, your name is Young Plant Weddings, right? And I've been following you guys through Instagram, I think quite a while now. And the first thing I noticed to your Instagram, I love the vibe that you guys are putting out there with like the style that you guys have, and like the video as well. But I think I've been following you for a while now. But and I think back then I saw that you guys recently moved. Where did you guys move from, by the way?
We're from Central New Jersey. Well, I'm from Central New Jersey. Jason's from Texas originally. We met in New Jersey, and then we just purchased a house in Columbia County, New York.
Congratulations. I'm actually in Columbia County, outside my windows, literally like the Hudson Valley. And like, whereabouts are you guys from, Columbia County?
We're in Austerlitz. It's real small. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's right on the border of New York and Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Is it near Hudson, or I'm way off?
It's about
half hour.
Yeah, 30 minutes from Hudson.
Oh, okay. How are you guys liking, by the way, the Columbia County?
We love it.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind for us. We moved in the winter, so
that was a little rough.
We started in the winter here, and it was a pretty wild winter, I'm sure, as you know. A lot of snow, and so we kind of had to do that whole process during freezing temperatures. But now that the weather's beautiful, we've been loving it. It's been so great.
That's awesome. And Sharlene, why'd you say it was rough? What's going on with like the move? How was it?
It was rough for me. It's a little colder up here than I'm used to. So, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're from? What's that?
Are you originally from this area?
Yeah, I moved here 10 years ago. I came from the Philippines, so I came from a warmer climate. Then I know. Wait, so who's from Texas? Is that you, Jason? Okay.
Texas, yep.
And when did you move here to Columbia County? To this area in the New York.
So I moved around a little bit to a couple different areas, but I moved to New Jersey, I guess probably around 4.5 years ago, and I met Sharlene almost right away. So I moved to maybe 10 minutes away from Sharlene, and then we met, and I didn't plan on actually staying on the East Coast. Kind of funny side story. I was actually going to be going into the Peace Corps and going to be going off to Madagascar. And I met Sharlene, and she ruined all of that for me.
That's awesome. So you were I know Peace Corps, that's kind of like a volunteer thing for the Army, or right? Like a reserve?
So sort of. It's not with the Army, but it is government funded. And so they kind of put people all around the world to kind of help in various different ways. But that was kind of one of the things that I was interested in. And then met Sharlene. We started kind of, vibing on all sorts of very similar things around business mindset and kind of just like what we wanted out of life in general. So we started Young Plant, and the rest has been history.
That's awesome. And you said you guys were, with the business wise, you mentioned about business. I know you guys are offering photo. Sharlene, are you the photographer? Did you have a background with photography?
Yeah. So once I met Jason, actually, he has a background in photography, and I learned, I self-taught, but also he was great and helpful. And I took over the photography aspect, and he started diving into videography.
That's awesome. And when did you, Jason, when did you transition to like doing videos for weddings?
Yeah, so it's so funny. For the longest time, I picked up a camera when I was probably 16. And I even, my minor in college was in art, but it was more on emphasis on photography. So it's always been like a very strong passion of mine, but it's always also just been a hobby. So I never really leaned into it as a creative and tried to make money off of it. It kind of just was something that I just really enjoyed doing on the side for myself. But then once I met Sharlene and we started kind of exploring this concept of actually, monetizing the creative aspect of it, that's when things really started to snowball. And that's when we switched over to Sony cameras. I started off in Canon, switched over to Sony, and we started realizing all the awesome video capabilities. Really dove into video. Always have kind of had a passion for the film industry. And then just kind of rolled with it from there. Now it's what I love doing. It's my favorite thing to do. And then funny enough though, one of our weddings coming up soon is photography only, which I'm now excited to get back to my roots and shoot some photo again.
That's awesome. So pretty much you guys are a team. You guys do photo and video just depending on the couple, what the couple is looking for. And I've seen your work and such a great work. I love the vibe again, like what you're putting with the videos. And I feel like it kind of relates to like to the Young Plant weddings. Tell me more about like how you guys who came up with the name and like where did the vision come from? Like I love the Young Plant and like especially the graphic in your Instagram. I love like that forest vibe, right? Mm-hmm. Like so if you could tell me a little background about like how you guys started with the name and like where you guys got the inspiration.
For sure. Want me to take it away?
Yes.
It's one of my favorite stories. It's funny. You're actually only the second person to ask us that now. We just had a couple recently that we booked that was like, I got to know where's Young Plant come from? So the origin story is kind of like I mentioned when Sharlene and I first met, we were not doing photography together, videography, anything like that. But we really vibed on similar kind of goals for the future, and that was kind of financial and time freedom. So we really were interested in how we could kind of build something together. We could love what we do, and we could work together while doing it. And so we spun our wheels for a couple of years. We were originally, we're also big foodies, so we started a food vlog. So we were kind of shooting recipes that we were cooking at home. We started Instagram around that. So that was kind of like one of our first ventures into just kind of creating together. And that kind of transformed into one of our first business ideas, which was we really wanted to start a food truck. And so when we were thinking about different kind of names for the food truck and some inspiration for where to go with that, we had the idea of calling it Seedling, and something that we could take around to different private events. And so one day I was just kind of searching around when we decided kind of the food thing wasn't going to be the best option for us. And I looked up just the definition of seedling, right? And you look it up on Google and it's just young plant. And so I took that definition and I was like, I kind of like that, right? It's got an interesting kind of mystery to it. And it's kind of paying homage to our journey of trying to find something to do together like that. So we rolled with it, got a logo created, and now we're Young Plant.
Yes.
That's awesome. So it started from a food truck to now a Young Plant, the wedding creative company. That's awesome. So
exactly.
That's awesome that you guys share the passion with like food as well. Like why didn't the food truck go through? What happened with it?
the overhead for starting a food truck is really high. The barrier to enter into that space is pretty expensive. And then also, I could talk forever around kind of like business mindset, but we realized that it was going to be kind of an interesting kind of journey to go through food truck, where we are going to be very much just inundated as the workers, kind of just is going to be crazy hours, kind of constantly traveling all over the place to kind of meet that demand. And so we switched over. And it's funny, I shortened that into a very short story. We tried probably 3 or 4 different business ventures until to wedding photography and videography. And now just being able to kind of be a creative team together, spend time in a much more fun way with other couples, which is one of our favorite things, is kind of what, once we shot our first wedding, we were hooked. I mean, there was no going back after that.
Yeah. And I could imagine like the food truck industry, like what you said, like you kind of you have to commit like most of your time. Like once you have a food truck, you have to commit like all your day, cooking and like being in that food truck. And then I could imagine like transitioning to the wedding, business. And I feel like it's more flexible, I would say, right? Like
it's creative, I think.
And it's fun that you guys get to do it. And I gotta ask Sharlene this, like, do you guys work great together? Or sometimes, for me, I just started, the wedding videography business with Maggie, who is my partner. We're dating, and also, what we're learning is that like I kind of tend to be stressed out during wedding days, where I kind of like put everything to Maggie, and she gets upset because I'm stressed out, and then I just put everything to her. And is that the same thing to you guys? How is that like when working together?
Challenge, and I think we're getting so much better at it, but it's hard in the beginning because it comes into your personal life too, like you want to separate work from personal life, but when you're dating the person you're working with, it's so hard to do. But it's just like really communication. It's all about that. It's hard though. It is hard, and you're gonna have bumps in the road, but it's definitely all about communication for sure. And just like knowing not to take things personally also. I think I have a hard time with that actually, is like when we critique each other's work, I sometimes take things a little personally when I shouldn't, and it's just learning.
I can also be a little bit harsh sometimes too, but it comes from a good place, I promise.
Yeah, I know. Like today, I just finished the wedding work, and Maggie said, "Andre, you can't give this to the couple. It just seems so cringy." And like I spent the whole time, like the whole week, working on that craft, and then Maggie, the sudden, she's like, "Andre, you can't," and kind of hurts in a way, but at the same time, you kind of grow from it, because like you learn from. I feel like if you're editing the video and then you're constantly looking at it, you probably lose track of like the overall picture of the video. And I'm sure like, do you guys, does Sharlene critique your video work, Jason? Is that how it works?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's something that I would love to talk even more about, is I love hearing couple dynamics when it comes to post-wedding workflow. Like, I always take the footage and I go and I cull through it. And then I'll start with, kind of the social teaser first and move on to the highlight film and the doc film, depending on what the couple got. But what I love to do, and it's kind of like more of what I've been doing more recently, is I like to kind of surprise Sharlene towards the end of the edit. More in the beginning, I would be like, I'd get 10 seconds through and be like, "Sharlene, come watch this. Tell me how it is." And now that I'm feeling a little bit more confident in my edits, I'll get through the whole thing and then get the most fresh perspective on it. And I think that Sharlene is an incredible critic, because one, she knows I'm sensitive about my work, so she's good at that. And two, she's coming from a very fresh perspective, and also being the second shooter, if it's just video, for example. She experienced the day in a completely different way. And so then when she comes to watch the film, she can tell me if like maybe the vibe's off a little bit, if maybe, kind of remind me that maybe this type of music doesn't quite fit the couple's energy. And then we kind of go back and forth from there. And then major part of it is always when it comes to the color grade. So at the end, that's something that I've struggled with, is just kind of trying to find that style and the vibe that we want to portray as a brand. And she has a great eye for that. So she comes in and helps me kind of with that edit at the end too.
That's awesome, and I love the color grade. By the way, guys, it's kind of like has that like earthy vibe into like the brownish earthy vibe of like color, and I really love like it seems so consistent with all your work with video and photos, and I'm glad you were able to find that style. And coming back from like Jason, like so you pretty much just edit the whole video and then you let Charlene look over at the end of the video once
For
you're
the
done.
for the most part, if I run into some roadblocks, I'll call her in for a second opinion at that point, which does happen more often than not. But if I can get through a whole edit and then have her come look at it with fresh eyes, and if I know, I can kind of read her now. At the end of it, I can tell her reaction on if it's a good one or not. So if I get to the end, I'm like, all right, what did you not like? And then we'll go back, tell me the different parts. Or she'll be super enthusiastic about it, and I know that's her truth. So then, I'm confident delivering it to the couple then.
That's awesome. I feel like it's your partner has an eye that I feel like that really makes your video. It's kind of like a topping to the cake. I feel like it makes it the whole overall film if someone looks over it and kind of have their perspective, and that's why it translates to your work. Like your work is so consistent with like the color and especially like the like the vibe that you're putting into the videos. I love like that hip vibe at the same time. It's kind of like classy and more of like your style, like young plant weddings. I love everything about like what you guys put out with the brand, and that's awesome, man. I'm still learning with like having my partner critique my film because I haven't done enough weddings yet, so it's kind of like it's kind of all new to me. And like for you guys, how long have you been doing the video aspect of it? Like have you been doing a lot of wedding videos, Jason, for the wedding?
Yeah, so video was kind of where we started. We shot our first, probably 5 weddings were video before we got our first photo one, and we're fairly new too. So we launched our business
2019
at the very end of 2019, and so basically our first wedding season was through the pandemic, and so that was a very interesting challenge. I think we were able to pull a lot of strengths from that, is kind of dealing with the difficult times. Mm-hmm. But we probably split, maybe it's like a 60% video, 40% photo, and then we do a lot of photo video as a team together. But yeah, it's been great. This is now, so we did 10 weddings in 2020. We did 10 weddings in 2020. Mm-hmm. And then now we have 30 this year. And so we've been learning how to balance now, 3 times more work. It's been an interesting challenge. And so I'm actually kind of curious, Andre, when did you start your videography business?
So actually I started, so this was going to be my full first time. We're kind of the same as well. I started about 2019, but like I literally just did overall like less than 10 weddings starting from 2019 to where I am now. Now I'm doing 40 weddings. So I'm also new. I feel like we're starting at the same time. That's why this is all new to me. But at the same time, I'm the one that's main leading with the video side. Maggie is we're both nursing students, and I just graduated this year recently for nursing, and pretty much I just love the video. But like I feel like Maggie kind of has a different path. I don't know if she's gonna go the same route as me, like being a creative. That would be great to work together. But at the same time, I kind of respect her decision. Like you should try out the nursing, and if it doesn't work out, you could always work for me. So I'm learning, and also like it seems exciting, but at the same time, I'm already overwhelmed, Jason. I booked 40 weddings, which was the goal last year, and it's my 4th wedding now this year, and I felt like, oh my god, I can't do this. Like I'm already overwhelmed. So are you guys experiencing the same thing where weddings are coming? It's coming. It's getting busy and busy, and like it's stressing me out a lot. So how are you guys doing with your with everything? Like are you guys being overwhelmed?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time meditating on it, trying to. No, yeah, I definitely get the anxiety bug for sure when I look at our calendar. Just like you said, it's about to really pick up, in the second half of the year. So, and also a side note, so we have full-time jobs too. So this is technically our side business, but 30 weddings isn't super side business. So the stress comes in when it's navigating, trying to find personal time for us, I think, where we work in the morning, we do our 9 to 5, and then we work at night, and then we obviously have to work on the weekends too. And so I think the some of that stress comes in is that we also want to put a lot of focus on our relationship and just doing things that we enjoy together. And so that has us also getting really creative, right? Like I'm always trying to think, okay, what can I do to alleviate some of the culling workflow, or maybe help with some documentary edits? Like we're already exploring the concept of trying to maybe hire somebody to come in and help us with some things, right? And so I can only imagine with you shooting 40 weddings. I mean, that's incredible. And you just graduated. Have you also been maybe thinking about getting some help when it comes into the extremely busy time?
Well, the thing is that I came into this business this year with a plan, and my plan. So my packages, I will tell you my package real quick. So I'm only offering my couple a 5 to 6 minute highlight video, and raw footage for the most part for the rest of like the product. So in my head, it was like, okay, if I could finish the highlight video, which is only 5 to 6 minute video, it's gonna take me like, usually it takes me like a month, kind of like back then when I was just I didn't have enough weddings, but like this time I put in my calendar, it's like 2 days. Every wedding I only have 2 days to finish everything, just because I'm not offering the doc edits like you guys. I'm only offering the 5 to 6 minute highlight video, but at the same time I have to make sure it flows and has my style as well. But like I don't know about like hiring someone with like helping me out, but at the same time it seems like, because if I start doing that, the style just kind of disappears, not me anymore. So I mean, I think hopefully I could do it in 2 days, but I don't know how long it would take for you guys to do the longer doc edit. But like I'm sure that like takes a while. But for me, I don't. I'm sure like one product won't take more than a week. But like I'm making sure that I can save money as well, because like I'm pretty much helping Maggie as well, because like to be honest, I'm not charging as much as the videographers that are in the areas, just because I don't feel comfortable charging $4,000 per video. So, and my price range right now, it's pretty much like between 2,000 to 3,000. So, I feel like that's not really, I don't know if that's a lot, but like, I just don't feel comfortable charging more than $3,000 for now. But at the same time, if I start paying someone to edit my videos, I'll lose money, and at the same time I'll lose that, like the style of videos that I put out there, because I feel like my couples have higher expectation with my highlight videos, since the main product is the 5 to 6 minute video. And who knows, we'll see. But like how long does it normally take for you guys to do the doc, longer doc edit?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So because we're in similar kind of time frames of just learning this industry, right? There's a lot to learn here. And so one of the things that we're navigating is trying to stick to schedules to deliver the 3 films. So I'll talk about our package real quick. We deliver a social media teaser, the minute long, and then our staple film, which is the 5 to 7 minute highlight film, and then the doc film, which is dictated by however long the events for the day were, but it ends up being around 20 to 30 minute doc film. And I send them to them once each one is ready. So I always I cull the footage, I start with the teaser, and then move on to each one after that. And I think I've started quoting people at around 6 weeks to get all 3 of the films, but I try to turn the social teaser around within the first week or 2. And so that's all. I try to get it to them while they're on their honeymoon. So something like that's really fun for them to watch while they're still there. And then I can get working on the other 2 films after that. But it's definitely extending, right? I used to be able to deliver a film really quick, and now it's we're quickly learning that with more weddings that we're shooting, the backlog is starting to stack up, and we're just having to chip away as it goes. So it ends up being about 6 weeks for the whole package.
Okay, and just this is something random. Going back to like earlier. So what do you guys do, by the way, aside from doing the wedding business? Like, what do you guys do for your full-time jobs? I'm kind of curious about that.
I work in real estate, so I work doing like a leasing office. So I work in that aspect. But we're hoping to go full time. We are going to go full time by the summer, because just there's no love there. Any other job, you know. I love it, and it's kind of just weighing us down right now.
Yeah, you reached out to us for this podcast, like right at the time where we're in this weird buffer zone where we are really stressed out about potentially leaving our jobs and going full time, but also really excited, right? Like there's a crazy paradox going on there where we're used to this certain lifestyle, and then now we've realized, okay, we've built something that we really love. We couldn't enjoy it more, and it feels like it's now the time to make that transition. I work. Hopefully, my boss doesn't see this. I work in marketing, and I've been in marketing for a while now. So I love marketing too, and actually, Sharlene has a background in marketing as well, and that's been really, we're really grateful to pull from those strengths in our business. But we're right on the cusp. Like we're thinking like by July we're going to be full time in this business. So we're getting there.
Oh my God, that's awesome! I'm getting goosebumps because I'm so excited for you guys. Like that's really exciting. It's like I'm sure it's really exciting to transition to a job that you guys have been doing for a while to something that you guys are passionate about, and it's something exciting, but at the same time, if you're new, right? Like I feel like it's stressful when you're not used to like this kind of stress, but at the same time, I'm sure it's more. I'd rather do this rather than like other jobs, like what you guys are doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So this is July, right? Like this July, what are you guys waiting on? Like, couldn't you guys just like, leave your, old full-time job, or like, what's the wave for July?
Yeah. So July for us is, I don't know why I don't know this count right now. I'm trying to think of how many weddings we've shot in this year already. I think we've only done, like 4, like 5. Yeah, I think 5. So then it's crazy. Like, just like you said, right? We're going to have 25 weddings in the end of the year. You're going to have 30 or whatever, 35. And so we see that on the calendar, and I'm like, I don't know if I can work. I don't know if I can do the 9 to 5 do that at the same time, right? And it comes from a couple of different places, right? It comes from a really good place of like, we want to provide the best product to our couples and the best customer service, and we want to just give it all our all. And there's a little bit of tension when it comes to the amount of time we have to put into our 9 to 5, and then seeing the calendar ahead. And so July is like that mark where it's gonna be, we're shooting 4, 5, 6 weddings every month until the end of the year. So it feels like that it's the time. July is the time.
I'm sure it is, because like what you said earlier, like at this, like right now today for me, it's like it's still starting, but it's not that busy yet. But I'm sure once that time comes, which mine is like next week, is starting next week. I'm gonna have double wedding or triple wedding, so I'm not even sure how I'm gonna do that. But like, what about Sharlene for like photos? Does that take a while for you as well? Is it the same thing for the video process?
I feel like no, but I feel like video just takes so much more because you have to do audio, you need to create a story, you need a color grade. Like photo, I need a call and then I'll edit, and like straighten them out and all that stuff. But like it usually takes me about 2 to 3 weeks max to do a full album, because I just like re-looking at them a bunch of times. But definitely video is much longer.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot though. Like Sharlene, and I'm curious about how it's Maggie, right? Your partner?
Mm-hmm. Maggie, yep.
I'm curious about how kind of y'all handle this. I know you said that you take most of the lead, but we've divvied up roles. Like Sharlene's so heavy in the beginning, pre-wedding. She's the point of contact for our couples, leading all the way up to the wedding day. So she is building timelines. She's she's working with them on a customer service level. And then I'm all post-wedding. So I kind of handle it, we kind of pass things off to each other to try to make it, to create this workflow together. And her heavy lifting, other than the wedding day itself, of course, is all in the beginning. And then she kind of passes it over to me, and then I kind of hand, my video edit, all, like, videos. So takes so much time after the wedding. And so that's when I really kind of hit the ground running. And so that's been a really cool way that we're able to bounce off of each other's strengths too, is she's an awesome customer service person. She connects with our so well. And so we pull from our strengths like that.
That's awesome. It seems like you guys are taking advantage with like your strengths, like, the business and with people as well. For me, I just, I take care of everything with like, Maggie pretty much just shoots with me that day. So she doesn't do photos. She doesn't do anything else aside from, helping me that day for the wedding. And who knows, in the future, that'll be awesome to be able to work with her. But, again, like, I respect her decision. Like, I respect her where path that she's going, but like, it seems like fun that you guys get to work together, and at the same time, you guys can, deal with the couples at the same time, because, you guys are the same company. So that's awesome that you guys get to do that. And I know, Jason, you're a Sony shooter, right? Like, if you can give me like, what are you mainly shooting now for video?
Yeah, so as far as cameras go, we're both now on Sony A7 IIIs, and we actually just got another one. So we're working on kind of building some of our kind of essential camera gear, right? And kind of realizing we wanted to do a full season where we kind of get to realize and understand what it is that we need, and then kind of slowly build on from there. One thing that I learned from photography being a hobby is that it's one of the most expensive hobbies. And so if you're not using them as tools to make money, it racks up real quick. And so I used to buy so much gear, and realize that when it comes to weddings, since we really are like documentary shooters, we're documenting someone's day, that the more slim that we can go, the better I am on the shooting day. So in our first handful of weddings, we had all of our gear out. We had, all sorts of tripods, monopods, cables going, everything. And we have cut down to such a slim, I have one backpack for the day, basically. And we both are pulling off the backpack, and we shoot mostly handheld now. So we actually don't even have tripods or monopods. I'm basically only bringing our cameras, lenses, and audio gear. And I think that it has made for such a better experience on the wedding day. And we're able to be really nimble and get a bunch of different content and content that way. But yeah, we've loved the Sony systems because they're so much smaller too.
They are smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's so funny you mentioned that, because I started with like less gears because I don't have money to buy gears, and now money is coming, and like I'm buying like more gears. And like what I learned so far in my beginning with my weddings this year, the more gears I have, the more overwhelmed I am. So I felt like I got to go back to where I started, and I felt like the video was so much better, like having less gears, because like you get to focus on like that day. So right now I'm also struggling with like a lot of gears. You mentioned you having one bag. That's what I'm gonna try this weekend, because like I've been bringing a lot of like tripods, monopods, and it seems like it was just different, and like it was more overwhelming to me as well. So I'm glad that you guys kind of like lowered down your gears for the wedding day, because like I feel like like it's just overwhelming having to carry your gears and like worrying about your gears. So I feel like that's the route I'm going, like you guys. Like I'm gonna do like more or less gears for wedding. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because like it's funny, because like the beginning I had less gears, and now I have more money, buy more gears, and like more overwhelmed through the wedding day, which I don't have to be. But like again, like now you mentioned that, I think I'm just gonna do like one bag, just less gears overall. So we'll see.
Yeah, what's really funny about that, Andre, is like I think that it's so interesting in general. Like we're, for our businesses, we have to be so strong on social media. But one of the main things is I realized that I was being influenced by other filmmakers to buy more gear. And so what I stopped doing is like I actually don't really watch other people's wedding films as much, and I don't. I stopped going onto the Facebook groups and seeing where everyone's constantly talking about gear, because that was influencing me to think that I needed to buy it. And then now that I've stopped doing that, I've, just like we said, kind of stripped it back down. And just like you said, instead of me fiddling with all these things, I'm now hyper focused on the day and documenting the couple. And I think it's really, really helped the final product. So I've stopped watching other people's and got off the Facebook groups after I was like, all right, enough of that. I'm buying too much stuff.
That's awesome. I'm glad that it's all working out. And like, again, buy less gears, I guess. Like I used to like just watch other videographers, and the reason I'm buying other gears because I want to create work like them. So, but overall, moral of the story: don't buy a lot of gears. Make it simple for you guys. I don't want to take more wait time from you guys, but like that's awesome that I got to. It's refreshing being able to talk with other creatives because I've been stressed out, and I'm glad I'm able to relate in a way for you guys because like I feel like I'm not alone with this because like I'm still starting, and I'm glad that I'm happy to see like other creatives being in that border to being going full time, because I could definitely relate to you guys because it's really exciting. At the same time, it's scary, I guess, because of like the amount of weddings we're gonna do. So we'll definitely see. But I don't want to take more time away, but like I'm recording this, but I hope anyone that be watching this kind of gets inspired that you guys are still even doing full time now with other jobs, and now you guys are transitioning to this business that's looking good, like with the branding, with everything with it. And I feel like that should be an inspiration because like it's hard like taking that leap from like your full-time job to that wedding business, and it seems like it's looking great for you guys. So I appreciate your time sharing your story.
For sure. Yeah. I hope people can pull some nuggets from the conversation. And yeah, always happy to connect with anyone too. And I have to give you a shout out actually. So we have never been to this venue, but we saw that you shot there, and it is like one of our favorite venues that we follow on Instagram. So you shot at the Foxfire House sort of recently?
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, it's very nice. And I'm not sure how far are you guys from the Foxfire?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Yeah, it's awesome there. When are you guys shooting the wedding there?
We're not actually. So we were going to go there on Memorial Day weekend to visit, just because we've been following them on social media for so long, and we just really like what they're doing there. They created such a cool space, and I saw that we saw that you shot there, and it looked so cool. So I was just curious about how your experience was, because we love it.
Oh my God, you guys are gonna love it there. Wait, you said you guys are going soon to Foxfire?
We were going to. I think we're actually just going to go there to eat at their restaurant, just because we want to go experience it. Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, it's very nice there. The vibe is such out of this world. Like, once it's literally in the Catskills. I don't know exactly. I just drove up like an hour away, and I know it was like in the mountains. And like once you get to like this driveway, which takes you to like the semi forest, but once you get there, it just spending there the whole day, you just get lost of like where you are because of like how cool the vibe that the place is. Like it's such a magical place. It's such, I don't know how to explain it. It's just out of this world. So I really definitely recommend visiting there just to eat lunch there. I don't know if you guys know this politician. Her name's what's her name? I don't know. A politician goes there to eat. She's a woman. I don't know her name. I forgot her name, but she's really well known. But anyways, like famous people would go there, but I don't know, just the vibe that's there, it's just so special. So go there to eat. I know they have some events sometimes, so I really am. Yeah, definitely. And I know there's some hiking spots close by there too, so if you guys are going there.
For sure. Well, yeah. Thanks so much for having us on the podcast. It was great to chat with you.
Meet you.
Yeah, you're in our neighborhood basically now, so we got to hang out sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm in the Hudson Valley in Columbia County. Like I was like, oh my God. I think I was stalking your Instagram one day, and I think you guys were. It seems like Hudson. Like it popped out to me like you guys are close to Hudson. But anyways, it seems like I don't even know Columbia County. Do you have you guys mentioned that you guys are bordered somewhere?
Yeah, we're from Massachusetts.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't even know that was part of Columbia. I didn't know like Columbia County would go that far, like to the border of Massachusetts. But that's awesome. But I hope you guys love the Columbia County. I feel like there's nothing really to do in the Columbia County. But like overall, but I hope you guys enjoy the place, and we'll definitely link in the future. And I'm really just excited for you guys with your journey and being able to see that. So thank you again. I really love the talking with other creatives. It makes me more refreshed and like just being to connect with other creatives. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
For sure. It's very cool that you're doing this. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharlene and Jason, and we'll keep in touch. And I'll post this in YouTube, and if you guys don't mind. But anyways.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you guys.
All right. Bye.